Before we get started with this week's episode of the podcast, I just wanted to jump on here and tell you who the winner was for our 4-night stay at a Disney Deluxe Resort. We had a contest, a promotion that we did with Mickey Vacations by Academy Travel. We've been running it for a couple months now. We had a lot of entries, and we thank you so much for that. And unfortunately, we could only pick one winner, and that winner was chosen at random. Drum roll, please. The winner of the Disney Deluxe Resort contest is Chelsea Light. Chelsea, congratulations. You'll be hearing from Academy Travel in the very near future about how to claim your prize. And again, thank you so much for entering. We will be doing some other promotions, so stay tuned. Listen to the podcast. Follow us on Facebook. On with the show. This podcast is brought to you in part by Academy Travel at mickeyvacations.com. Academy Travel is the official travel sponsor of the Pirates and Princesses podcast, and we can't recommend them enough. Go to mickeyvacations.com/PNP. That's mickeyvacations.com/PNP to get started on your next Disney dream vacation today. And now on with the show.
Glad you could come along. I put a spell on you.
Grid is live. Initiate light cycle battle.
Welcome, foolish mortals.
For a safe trip, remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the cabin. Be sure to watch your children, and no smoking, please.
Welcome to the Pirates and Princesses podcast.
We're a different kind of Disney podcast. We do it our way.
We talk about Disney parks, Disney movies, TV, video games.
Anything Disney.
I'm your host, Tom Pratt.
And I'm your other host, Cambria Pratt.
Welcome back to the show.
Hello.
I'm your host, Tom Pratt, and I am joined by my lovely wife, Cambria Pratt.
Yeah, that's my name.
Who is sitting here giving me the side eye.
My wife, let me remember which name that is.
Yeah, which one is it? Hey, we're going to talk about having our cake and eating it too, I think.
Well, soon to be not eating it too.
Well, actually, you won't be eating your cake in the Magic Kingdom for much longer, or at least not the custom Disney cake. That a lot of people love to get the custom Disney cakes for special events, for birthdays, for anniversaries. We had one 5 years ago.
Which wife was that?
I don't remember her name, but she was pretty hot.
That hurt you.
Anyway, we did get a Haunted Mansion cake for our 10th wedding anniversary.
It was awesome. It was good too.
It was very good. That actually came from the Boardwalk Bakery, and we had delivered to the hotel room. We didn't have it delivered to the parks.
So let's clarify the issue.
Yeah.
The issue is, according to the message on the cake ordering system, it's saying that starting mid-December, no cake orders to the Magic Kingdom restaurants. They said there's probably going to be an alternative options in the future, but they don't know what they are yet. People are looking into it, and the other parks don't have these orders of no cakes, and the resorts are okay too. So apparently the other parks you can get custom cakes, and the resorts you can get custom cakes, but you can't get them into the Magic Kingdom.
I'm thinking this might just come down to logistics. Like, the Magic Kingdom is very, very crowded, and the restaurants are very crowded, and to bring cakes in from the outside already, it seems like it's kind of it'd be a hard thing to do. Maybe they're coming up with an option to actually bake the cakes.
They might be, because I said there's going to be alternative options, but they don't have them listed yet. Yeah,
because I think, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think most of the cakes do come from the Boardwalk Bakery.
I don't know. I know ours did.
Yeah, ours did. I'm not sure. It might depend on where you're staying. I don't know.
When you called, it was because of the type of cake it was.
Yeah, I actually told them what kind of cake I wanted. We wanted a Haunted Mansion cake. We'd seen a couple people had them, It was a nice cake. In fact, I'll have to see if I can find the picture and put
The
that.
picture's awful because we kind of had to take a picture quick and we had no place to put it. So there's
we
bottles
had,
of
like,
soda
Pepsi
and
bottles
stuff
and
laying
stuff
around. And I wish we
but
had got a better picture of it.
I'll see if I can find a picture of our cake. But no, it was really cool. And I explained to them what I wanted. And they said, well, those come from the Boardwalk Bakery. So they put me in touch with someone at the Boardwalk Bakery and we got delivered to the hotel. But
Yeah, and you were all cooking dagger.
I was. I actually surprised you. That
You
doesn't happen
did.
very often.
No, usually I figure out. So Christmas is awful for Tom because I figure out everything, not on purpose, and he can even admit it's usually not my fault. But something happens and I find out, and it's not my fault. But back to the cakes. When you order them, they recommend you order them 60 days to 72 hours in advance if you had to order a cake.
Yeah, and I'll agree with that because I know when we ordered ours. I mean, it's been a while, but it was a few weeks in advance. And then we had to figure out how to get it there without you seeing it.
Yeah, Tom was sneaking off to go get stuff. It would take forever, and here he was having meetings with.
I was actually having meetings with the hotel manager.
Or that, or with your other wife.
Yeah,
it could be either
her
way.
too. That's Minnie. That's her name. So anyway, yeah. So no more special cakes in the Magic Kingdom. That's okay. There are plenty of dessert options, and I think it's a little chaotic there anyway. I would save your cake for your hotel or. Someplace a little quieter, maybe. That's just my personal
But
opinion.
they do deliver it right to your room or to the resort.
They did. They actually
It
delivered.
was on their bed when we got back. They had the cake in the room.
Yeah, it was weird because we actually we went to. Well, I had to get her out of the room between a certain time frame, and we went to downtown Disney, and we came back, and yeah, the cake was there. They had serving plates. They had forks and knives and everything.
And it was good.
It was there. It was incredibly good. It was one of the best chocolate cakes I've ever had.
Yeah, so you should get one.
You should get one. Anyway, you just won't have it in the Magic Kingdom. So let's talk about goings on at Disney World. Speaking of the Magic Kingdom, they live streamed the Main Street Electrical Parade on Sunday.
Yeah.
Which I think was really cool that they did it, considering that they're ending it, at least its run in the Magic Kingdom on, I believe it's October 9th. And so, to live stream it was pretty cool. I don't know if they're looking to, just send it off properly or get people to hurry up and come to Disney before it's gone.
It's kind of hard to cram that in last minute.
I know, like, hey, it's leaving in a month. Let's go to Disney. But the live stream itself wasn't exactly what I was expecting.
Well, people were in the chat weren't very happy because the cameras, it kept going between cameras. The camera sounds were like the level of sound were different. Mm-hmm. And then people were trying to watch the parade because it's the last time they might get to see it. And they kept cutting away to doing interviews during the parade.
Yeah, I thought that was a really strange. I mean, I understand, wanting to talk to people about it and what the parade means, and they interviewed some folks. It was the first time they'd ever seen the parade.
But let's pull you away from the parade to interview you about the parade.
Right, this might be the last time you ever see the Main Street Electrical Parade, so come over here for about 10-15 minutes, miss a good portion of it.
It's not a long parade.
No, it's not, and we're going to talk about it. And then it was kind of odd. It was, I mean, I'm glad that they did it, but it reminded me of like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Like, there's a really cool float. Let's cut to commercial.
Yeah. But they kept doing that. They kept going and interviewing people.
Let's
and
interview this movie
the
star.
comments were hilarious. They're like, "Oh my God, will you shut up and go back to the parade?" I mean, I feel bad because it's disrespectful to the people that were talking, but at the same time, I can understand where they're coming from. Who live streams an event and then spends the entire time cutting to interviews, so you miss the entire event.
Yeah, it was kind of odd. I mean, I almost wish they would have done like almost like a pre-show. Like, here's a couple minutes.
They started with a pre-show.
Yeah, like here's a history of the parade. They did.
Oh,
okay.
And then during the
talking.
parade, they just kept talking.
I missed all that.
So,
I think most people tuned in because they just wanted to see the Main Street Electrical
yeah, because it's going to be gone. They're like, last time I can see it. You can still see it. I would check out YouTube for that.
There are many high quality videos of the Main Street Electrical Parade on YouTube.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have one to add here. Hopefully in the near future. So
well, maybe.
Yeah.
If not, then it'll be different. But yeah. So that was the comments, though. I mean, the comments were funny.
So I think Disney will probably rethink how to live stream in the future. I mean, it was a good idea. I just I don't think that they thought of everything. So, speaking of things that were not thought of at the time they were needed, and now they are. The bus service has been added to Disney Springs from all of the parks.
A month after we couldn't get on a bus.
We needed it.
Stinking park, yes.
And all I can say is, oh, thank God, because we had the biggest hassle last month trying to get from, where were we, Hollywood Studios?
No, we were Epcot.
Epcot.
And then we had to go back to our hotel, which the bus took forever.
Yeah.
And then when you got back to the hotel, you had to wait again for another bus, which also took like forever. And I think it took us an hour and a half to get from Epcot to Disney Springs.
That's right, because we wasted, that's right. Yeah, because that was our last day. We actually
We had
wasted,
to go to bed, and we couldn't go to bed because we were trying to...
Yeah, we had to get up really early to get home, but we wasted half of our day waiting for the bus.
It wasn't half of our day, but
it was a good chunk of our day.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, because that day we had the bus incident in the morning towards getting to Ohana and stuff too. So it was just...
So yeah, we spent most of our day on the bus the last day of our trip. But yeah, so we had to take we were staying at Port Orleans. We had to take the bus from Epcot to Port Orleans, sit there forever because during the middle of the day they don't send a lot of buses. And especially Disney Springs, they don't send a lot of buses there. So it was just like, oh my gosh. But
now they're going to have park service beginning August 28th. So that would have been already started from 4 to 11 until 2 hours after park close.
Yeah.
Or until 2 hours after park close. Okay.
So it'll so that's cool. I hope they have a lot of buses.
They probably won't because a lot of people are going to Disney Springs from the parks. I would have just been happy with one bus, you know?
Yeah, well, even on the way back, we were so frustrated by the bus situation that we actually, since we're staying at Port Orleans, we took the boat back from Disney Springs, and we almost got in the wrong boat because we'd never done that before.
Yeah, that's another story. The nice lady that happened to live close to where we are.
Yeah.
She only an hour and a half away from us.
Pennsylvania people.
She told us which boat to go on.
Yeah, always helpful. So that's a good thing. If you're going down, you should be able to take the bus to Disney Springs. I think we're going to take a quick break and hear from our sponsor, and then we will be back to talk about diseases. Ooh.
Diseases, yeah. Oh, we always want to talk about diseases.
On this magical Disney podcast, so stick around. This podcast is brought to you in part by Academy Travel at MickeyVacations.com. Academy Travel is the official travel sponsor of the Pirates and Princesses podcast, and we can't recommend them enough. Academy Travel is a platinum earmarked travel agency with over 20 years of experience helping plan countless Disney dream vacations. And now our listeners can take advantage of their expertise by going to a special VIP site where you can claim special offers and discounts only available to Pirates and Princesses listeners, as well as get a free no-obligation quote from Lisa and her expert team of agents. Their services are 100% free and they really know their Disney. Go to MickeyVacations.com/PNP. That's MickeyVacations.com/PNP to get started on your next Disney dream vacation today. And now back to the show. And we're back, and we're going to talk about disease.
Oh, yay.
Yay. So we went from cake to disease. We're going to talk about the Zika virus, and there's been a lot of chatter about Zika. Of course, it's coming from mosquito bites, and it's all over down in Florida, but it's actually...
not all over. It's actually like a small area near Miami.
Oh, okay.
But, you know...
But we need the panic to set in.
Yes, it's actually in PA too.
It is in Pennsylvania too. It's wherever there are mosquitoes, there's a chance for this Zika virus. So anyway, Disney's taken some preventative measures. Apparently, they just set up bug spray stations, I guess, for lack of a better term. I don't know what they're actually calling them, but it's like a bug spray station you can get sprayed for free to keep the mosquitoes away.
Yeah, and some people were talking that they actually found bracelets that you can get that repel mosquitoes too. They were wearing next to their magic bands that worked pretty well also. But Disney's not giving you those, but they're giving you free bug spray.
Yeah, so we've had our fair share of like we had West Nile virus in Pennsylvania, and we've had.
Yeah, we personally did not have West Nile.
No, but
we had our fair share. Like that time we got West Nile.
Yeah, there's been all kinds of kooky diseases with mosquitoes up here too, so it's not just a Florida thing. So if you're avoiding going to Florida because of the Zika virus, it's everywhere. So it's everywhere. But somewhat related to that, Disney is finally demolishing, filling in River Country.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really surprised it's taken them that long to do it, because it's been abandoned for what, like 15 years now?
Yeah, it's
Something
been
like
a
that.
long time, and
Yeah.
you see the pictures, and it's kind of creepy.
It's really creepy. I'm sure if you go out to YouTube, there are a lot of videos of people going out to river country because of the creepy factor, But you want to talk about diseases? I wouldn't venture out to river country in the condition it's in, because there's sure to be all kinds of like brainy amoebas and all kinds of weirdness.
Yeah, and critters.
Yeah, it's critter country.
Yeah.
But they are demolishing it. They are filling it in. I'm sure that has something to do with the alligator attack too, because that kind of environment probably just again attracts critters. But there's no plans for any kind of replacement at this point.
don't
Obviously
think so.
we've got the other water parks we don't really need.
But they fill it in there as an empty area, so who knows what they'll do.
DVC villas.
Probably.
The river country DVC villas.
Probably. That makes sense.
But so it's surprising, but it's not surprising, I think.
Well, speaking of the virus and stuff, there was a post I saw talking about how they think the fall attendance is going to be down again at Disney World, because they said several reasons. One, fall is usually bad, but there was a list of some different things they said was causing the lower attendance. And they said one of them was, the economies in Britain and Brazil being affected. Because
that's always like the top.
With the Brexit caused a big issue, and it's not like the exchange rate isn't as good as it used to be. And in Brazil, they said that they lost 1.7 million jobs last year, and that their inflation's up. Welcome to America. And that it's going to be more, it's going to be less cost effective for them to come here. And they said in the summer, I love this. They said about the big tour groups that you see. And they said, but since the kids are in school now, you're not going to run into those so much.
We ran into a few, I guess not as many as usual, but we did run into.
Well, I'm talking about the ones with the kids, the teenagers, and
yeah.
the ones that were really loud and obnoxious.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They said that you won't see that as often in the fall, so,
No, but there weren't as many. My understanding, there weren't nearly as many this summer. Even.
No. But, hey, there's a plus. If you're thinking when you can go, fall might be good because you're not going to run into that very much.
Yeah,
that's a plus.
That is a plus. Well, that's where I'm kind of torn on this, because on one hand, it's awesome that the parks aren't going to have as many people, but then the flip side of that is, if Disney starts going badly, then are they going to make more cutbacks? And
I know that's the problem.
Is the experience going to be less magical for those of us who do go? I don't know.
Well, they were saying people are wary of the virus, which is everywhere, so I don't think it's gonna it can get you anywhere. And then they were saying about, with the club shootings and stuff, people are upset about that.
Yeah, we noticed, and we mentioned that in our trip report, that for July, the crowds were actually pretty light.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're saying fall's supposed to be even lighter. Because usually fall's lighter. But now they're saying it's going to be in... so I don't know. Yeah, if you're going to go, I would not avoid the fall.
Yeah, so does this mean that when I get my pork slider at Food and Wine Festival, I'm not going to have to wait in line?
No, I'm sure you'll have to wait in line for that.
So that's all I care about. No, actually, and speaking of which, our travel agent, Mickey Vacations, if you go out to the PNP site, if you go to mickeyvacations.com/PNP, they're actually having a fall deal right now for like a family of 4 can go for like under $2,000.
Yeah, it's a good deal. Academy Travel.
It's actually a really good deal. So you might want to check that out if you're thinking about it. It might be a good time to go.
Yeah, especially if you can get the good deal.
Because who knows what next year's going to bring. So,
yeah.
More crowds. So what else do we have? Let's talk about what Mickey's Friendship Fair.
Mm-hmm. Which we haven't seen yet. We were there,
actually haven't
we didn't get a
seen
chance
it.
to.
We sort of watched a bit of it as we walked on by.
Yeah.
But apparently they're changing it up for the fall. They're going to have a new musical number and a new fall theme. So, which is pretty cool they do that.
I love anything fall, so it works for me.
They don't have to do that. They could just keep running the same tired thing.
Well, soon it'll be September 1st, and then it's pumpkin everything.
It is pumpkin everything.
Which works for me.
Yeah.
My nickname as a kid was even Pumpkin. Probably because my hair's orange. So,
yeah.
You don't know how to follow that up,
I don't know.
You're
I was
just
going to say
yeah.
it's better than Jack-o'-lantern. That's just not
better than, you have poo brown hair and they call you Poop Head or something. I don't know. Okay. But, my dad called me Pumpkin.
Yeah, I love Disney in the fall. So it's pretty cool if they're changing the show up. Usually, I don't know if they do they change? I don't really watch the castle shows too much. It's like every once in a while I'll check it out. But
We're usually running somewhere, but
I know.
yeah.
I know. I've never actually...
We need to do that, dang it.
We do need to do that. We need to just sit still and watch a castle show.
We need to sit still in general. We don't.
We don't.
We run
We're
everywhere.
always like, hurry up, get to this ride.
It's like, ooh, shiny, ooh, shiny.
Yeah.
Have we worked out? We locked out on Pooh last time, though.
We are talking
Not
about the
re-
ride.
Right, not the hair, yes.
Just to clarify. No, it was cool because...
it was broke.
The poo was broke.
Yes.
Winnie the Pooh was down, and we just happened to walk by. I was going to ask the cast member when...
You did ask the
ride
cast
would be up, and
member.
she's like, no, it's open
And
now.
so they opened the rope and let us try it in.
And then we're like, hey, everybody, Pooh's open.
No, we went in and when we came out, the line was horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible.
We just walked
It was
right
horrible.
on, and then Tom was sweet and bought me an Eeyore because Eeyore's my favorite.
He's a sad donkey.
I know. See, I don't know if I talked about this before, but one time when I was younger, besides being pumpkin and red hair, I'm very fair-skinned, and Son and me are not friends. And when we went down to Florida, I got badly burned. Badly burned. And it was so bad they almost sent me to the hospital. But the nurse said I was okay as long as I stayed in the air conditioning. Anyway, I was so miserable, and I saw Eeyore, and he looked like I felt. So ever since then, he's been my favorite.
He needs a hug.
He needs a hug.
Yeah,
Someone
you would
probably
hug,
could
but
have.
you would...
Someone could have hugged me, but I would have just cried. Because
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking like bad.
Florida
And
sun.
yeah, it was one of the worst I've ever had, and yeah. But he looked how I felt. So ever since then, me and Eeyore, we have this connection.
That's right. So we got... Yeah, it's hard to find... Like, you don't see gray Eeyores at, like, a
No, it's usually
Walmart or anything.
bluish.
They're usually, like the baby
Purple.
blue, which she's never been baby blue, but...
But I got a gray
You
one
had to get the gray Eeyore.
because I loved him.
Eeyore's awesome. So let's talk about Disneyland for a minute. We'll talk about the Tower of Terror, and we were talking before. Everybody knows this by now, I'm sure. They're going to close it down and turn it into the Guardians of the Galaxy something of something.
I still don't know how they're going to do that.
No idea what it's going to be, but it's probably going to be the same basic ride. They're just going to drop you.
Well, I'm sure they really couldn't change the whole ride system.
No. So, I guess the official close date is January 2nd of next year for the Tower of Terror in California,
Yeah.
just to make sure, the Florida.
You can still go to
Tower.
Florida to ride the old Tower
Yeah,
of
it's
Terror.
going to be untouched. But Ellen, on the other hand, is getting demolished. That's a whole nother episode, and we did talk about that. So this Guardian of the Galaxy makeover, they're going to have a party, I guess. They're going to do like a countdown to the end of the Tower of Terror, and they've got something called the late checkout. You can ride the Tower of Terror in complete darkness. No,
I don't get what the.
no desire to ride the Tower of Terror.
Well, here's
Period.
the thing. Here's the thing.
Not a
I've
big
ridden
fan.
the Tower of Terror a few times, and when they drop you, yeah, they open the windows and you drop down. But there's sometimes they drop you and it is dark. Like you don't go back up where it's light, so it's kind of dark. So I don't
But
see
this
what
is
the
really dark. This is
Apparently.
extra terror.
extra terror.
Extra terror in the Tower of Terror. But yeah, so check it out. I mean, I don't think it's really going to be that big, because if it's anything like Frozen, it's essentially going to be the same ride, just upgraded with some...
Well, yeah,
Guardians of the
I'm just
Galaxy.
thinking about the ride though, and I'm like, if they're riding the whole thing in darkness, you're probably thinking, well, when am I going to get dropped? But when the ride stops, you kind of can feel the temperature change. Even if they're not opening the window, you'd know when the drop is coming, so it's not going to be that much of a shocker.
Anyway, that is in California, so check it out if you're into it. Speaking of California, we'll talk about some movie stuff. Beauty and the Beast. We found some pictures of Lumiere and Cogsworth from the live-action Beauty and the Beast. You're not too...
I don't know. I'm torn on it. I have to see better pictures, I think, or see them move.
Well, you have to see him move. I mean, we kind of wondered when we talked about this, like how they were going to handle the furniture characters in Beauty and the Beast. Were they going to handle that? And yeah, they are. But they look photorealistic. It looks like, I mean, Cogsworth looks like a clock, and I mean, he doesn't look like a cartoony. I kind of expected like a cartoony face or something, or them just to gloss over that whole thing altogether.
If that clock was in my house with that face, I think I'd be creeped out.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I'm just saying.
He's kind of creepy. But we did post on the blog, if you go to piratesandprincesses.net, we have the pictures up of Lumiere and Cogsworth, and there are also some pictures of
Sorry, I'm messing my pad.
of Gaston and LeFou, who's played by Josh
Yeah, they
Gad.
had some pictures out before.
Yeah, so
That's kind of cool.
but other movie news: Julie Andrews approves of Emily Blunt being cast as Mary Poppins.
Well, it looked really crappy if she didn't.
It would be well, this kind of we have to have a bit of a acknowledgement of Gene Wilder's passing.
Yeah,
Granted,
that's
he
sad.
wasn't. I don't think he was in any Disney movies,
I don't think so.
but Willy Wonka definitely hit the same audience. And I actually for years thought Willy Wonka was a Disney movie because they used to run on the Disney Channel all the time.
Well, they used to run Ewoks: The Battle for Endor on Disney all the time, and I was gonna say that's not a Disney thing, but it is now.
It is now,
but it wasn't then.
That's
They
true.
used to run Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi constantly. Do you remember that? Return of the Jedi, Return of the Jedi,
Yes,
Return
it
of
was
the
a
Jedi.
lot of Return of the Jedi. Then it went to USA Network, but
Yes, I remember. No, and then it went to Sci-Fi Channel.
oh, that's right. But yeah, Gene Wilder passed away at age 83. It's terribly sad. Very, very, very funny man. But what this has to do with Mary Poppins is I remember when the Tim Burton version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory came out, he ripped Johnny Depp's performance up one side and down the other.
Did?
He did.
I didn't know about that.
He did not like that version of Willy Wonka. He thought he was too dark, too cynical.
It was like the book.
It was closer to the book. Yeah, I mean, Gene's Willy Wonka was
Jeans Willie, you better finish that sentence.
was a kinder, gentler Willy than Johnny Depp's Willy.
I always prefer kinder, gentler Willie, but
Yes.
that's just my personal preference.
Johnny Depp's Willy was
Poor son's
a little
looking
more
at us
devious.
like, what is wrong with you people?
But yeah, Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka was more of a trickster, I think, than
I hate tricky
Jim
Willies.
Tricky Willies. There's no way to talk about this without it being awkward, is there?
No, not really.
But I was hoping that. I mean, now Julie Andrews seems like she's a classy lady, and I can't.
She doesn't
You
talk
know,
about Willies, that's for sure.
I can't picture her ripping, Emily Blunt up one side and down the other.
Ripping Willie. I'm sorry.
Anyway, only on Pirates and Princesses.
Son's losing in the background.
So, but yeah, so she approves of Emily Blunt as Mary Poppins. A lot of Disney fans, I think, are very cautious about there being a Mary Poppins sequel.
I have to
it's
see it.
such a
I'm one of
classic.
those, I want to see it before I'll withhold judgment until I see it.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, Disney's actually had a pretty good streak, I think, with a lot of their live action adaptations, sequels, whatever.
I'm being good
remakes.
right now.
Yeah. So I think
They had a pretty good streak with their Willies. So it's all good.
I think it'll be okay. Is there anything else we
I'm trying to find that one story. Hold on a second. About the Halloween party costume guidelines.
Okay, so yeah, we'll talk about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna have a new parade, and yeah, we didn't talk about this in Disneyland.
Oh
They're
yeah,
gonna have a new parade.
it's not called Boo to You. Like I think it's almost the same as it's similar to the Boo to You parade from Walt Disney World, but they were calling it, what were they calling it? Haunting. What was it? I'll have to look it up. But I was gonna give you the guidelines for the costumes. This is from Disney World, I believe. I don't know if it's the same at Disneyland. They're saying that guests 13 and under, costumes and some masks may be worn as long as the masks do not cover the entire face and eyes are visible. For guests 14 and older, layered costumes or costume props that surround the entire body are strongly discouraged and may be subject to additional security screening. So if you walk in with some giant, like...
Willy Wonka costume.
Well, no, Willy Wonka wouldn't have a giant costume.
Yes, he would.
But something like... You're going to be Harley Quinn and you got a big, mallet or something, they can screen, they're going to screen that. Or if you have some kind of costume like you're Ursula with your tentacles.
Yeah.
And you have these big tentacles.
Well, I mean, rightfully so. I mean, speaking of the screening, I'll just mention this real quick because people talked about it. They were surprised that they were doing the fingerprint ID for children
for kids.
under 10.
Our kids always do.
Our kids did, yeah. Some of the sites were reporting like, "Oh my gosh, you're doing finger." I'm like, they did for our kids. just last month.
Our kids just automatically stick their finger on it.
Yeah, so I
They're
don't
trained.
know.
They've got it down to science.
Yes, I'm not sure where this came from, but
Yeah, I don't know what that's either because we always did. Okay, guess 14 older again. Costumes may not reach or drag on the ground. Example, full-length princess dresses. Capes may be worn if the length does not go below the waist. And we know from Incredibles, capes are probably not a good idea.
right, learn from syndrome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Themed t-shirts, blouses, sweatshirts, and hats are acceptable. I'm sure as long as they're not like vulgar.
Yeah.
Acceptable accessories include transparent wings, plastic lightsabers, toy swords, and tutus.
And tutus. So I'm cool then, because
You're good because you're gonna wear all that.
Wings and tutus.
Hey, I wore a squid on my head with fairy wings once.
That is true.
I did
you
for Halloween. I don't know why. It felt right at the time.
No, I don't know. Now, see, I was Dreamfinder a few years ago. I'm not sure if
You gotta post that picture.
beard would have worked or not.
I think it would have been okay because they said head may be worn as long as it does not cover the face. You may not wear masks of any kind, but it was a beard. I don't know if that would count. I mean, I don't know. But you're not allowed to take pictures of people or act like a cast member and sign autographs, clearly.
Okay.
But people kept following you around taking your picture anyway.
I know, it was weird.
We should post that sometime. But yeah.
Cool.
Sorry,
well,
I'm too busy thinking about my squid hat with my wings, and people are like, "What's wrong with you?"
At least you're not thinking about the Willys.
The Willys.
So,
okay, so I found it. So it is called. It says inviting all you boos and ghouls. Oh, so Boo's personally invited to this.
yeah.
Because we call our daughter Boo. Frightfully Fun Parade.
Frightfully Fun Parade. So that, it sounds, like you said, it sounds an awful lot like Boo to you.
Well, it does. They talk about the Headless Horseman, which the Headless Horseman is the best part, right,
That
Jason?
is awesome.
He loves the Headless Horseman. He thinks it's great. So they're going to arrive at the Headless Horseman and carrying a flickering jack-o'-lantern as a warning to everyone along the parade route.
Yeah, they have characters from the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, they're going to do Jack Skellington. And then they're going to do the Grim Grinning Ghost in the Haunted Mansion, which is really, really cool. Ballroom dancers, the Princess and the Frog, Dr. Facilier, which I had in the other one.
Sounds almost exactly like
it's very the villains appear and stuff. So yeah, it sounds very similar to Boo to You, which I recommend. I think it's our favorite parade.
I love Boo to You. People get annoyed by the music. I love Boo to You.
Well, it's Boo to You or whatever. It does
over and over.
It is
and
a little
over.
bit, but I love it.
Okay, well, I forgot to talk about, we had a little list of things here. We're kind of all over the place, but Moana, they're talking they're going to do a Moana live action show, which makes total sense since the movie's coming out this fall. And they put a casting call out for that, and whoever is going to play the part of Moana is going to have to be available in 2 to 3 months. So it kind of gives you a time frame. What we don't know is
Where they're going to put it.
where this show is going to be, and most people are betting it's going to be at the Polynesian. I mean, that is probably the most logical place for it.
Yeah,
Polynesian
I'm not sure.
princess at the Polynesian. I mean, come on. But then again, you're really limiting, who.
Well, they do shows. They usually don't just do shows at a hotel. Well, they do like a meal with it, like. Oh, well, then they had cute Tsum Tsum starting to pop up from Moana.
They do have, yeah.
The
they
people
have
are
all kinds
leaking
of,
images of Moana Tsum Tsums.
And
They're really cute.
we just saw right before we record the podcast in Hong Kong. They've got all the Halloween Tsum Tsums coming.
They're so cute, and I'm
very cute.
so mad that they always get the cool stuff in Japan or Hong Kong. That makes me mad.
I know. Well, Tsum Tsums are like really huge.
It angers me greatly. It's a huge here. And I also have to find the advent calendar.
Yes, they have a Tsum Tsum advent calendar with the little vinyls, and they're crazy cute. I think they're at what, Costco? Is that what they
They're
said?
so sweet. Aren't they precious?
Yeah, they are.
They are cute though.
They are cute. So, I really can't think of anything else right now.
I'm working on a list of ways to recycle your magic bands.
Oh yeah, that would
Because
be
there
cool.
is not much on that. I looked into it and I only found a couple things, and I'm trying to think of alternatives to those because there was only a couple listed.
It does seem like a waste.
I have a list and I am working on it. I'm going to work on ways that you can recycle your magic bands. So stay tuned for that. I'm working on it.
Stay tuned for that. And yeah, definitely subscribe on iTunes, subscribe on Stitcher, check out our website at piratesandprincesses.net. Check out our Facebook page. We've been posting a lot on Facebook lately. It's PNP Disney Podcast on Facebook. Do a search for us.
If you like geek stuff, you can listen to our other podcasts.
Yeah, we have another podcast called Clownfish Radio. Clownfish Radio is our pop culture geek podcast. It's Cam and I talking about other things besides
and
Disney.
comics and things.
And comics and movies and ranting and raving. And
We also do a comic you can check out too.
we do a comic.
And it's free.
It is free at shadowbinders.com. So, with that, I think we're going to leave you for this week. And
You're all thinking about Willys, admit it.
I can't top
It
that.
will haunt your dreams.
Tristan's got a song for us.
Not today.
Not today.
You gotta pay extra for that.
Oh, geez. Okay. So we're going to go. So have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Yes, have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Pirates and Princesses is a production of Clownfish Studios. We are an unofficial Disney podcast, not endorsed or affiliated with the Walt Disney Company. You can visit us on the web at piratesandprincesses.net. That's piratesandprincesses.net. You can shoot us an email at piratespodcast@gmail.com. That's piratespodcast@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.